Class now in session, a sign with a message. Put the smoke in the air, pass it round in the section. Cap and gown adolescence. I wreck it, eclectic. Mama got a brain, but she bad with no makeup. Never change, she like that on her wake up. She a keeper, soul is a winner. Keep a nigga warm through the cold in the winter, yeah. Incense and Kama Sutra. No sin, whatever suits ya. We both win, hallelujah. Unconditional love. It's King James Uncle Bala. She not impressed by a dollar. So good luck trying to holler, hey. Fendi, Louis, Gucci, Prada, yeah. Incense and Kama Sutra. No sin, whatever suits ya. We both win, hallelujah. Unconditional love. They don't make them like that no more. Make them like that no more. When they do that, when they do that, they don't make them like that no more. Make them like that no more. When they do that, I keep it a bit with you. I give me a grand crystal. Must have been the way she's brought up. Think of my queen, I'm caught up. You know what I mean if it's all up. Onks and dashiki is what it takes to please me, yeah. Every second, every hour, next to a superpower, yeah. Incense and Kama Sutra. No sin, whatever suits ya. We both win, hallelujah. Unconditional love. She's out of control. Just a natural glow. Turn a brother to an animal. Back so, yeah. Incense and Kama Sutra. No sin, whatever suits ya. You're in, hallelujah. Unconditional love.
Oh, come on in. Come on in, family. Come on in, family. Yes, sir. Put your nines up. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from. Oh, yeah, it's going to be on iTunes. That's Incense and Kama Sutra. That's Incense and Kama Sutra. If you like that one, you'll be able to pick it up on iTunes, Tidal, Google Play. We got to change the music, man. 528 hertz. That's what we're putting out. 432 and 520 hertz all day. Let's get our vibration right. Come on in. Powerful lesson today. You know it's Friday. Or I should say, what they call it, Frig Day. We got to get the days of the week right. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Put your nines up. Grand Rising. Assalamu alaikum. Salam. Hotep. Oh, yeah, we litty. We litty. I see we got people from all over today. We're about 123 deep already. So it seems like y'all ready. Put your nines up. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up button. That'll put us up to the top. Make sure you hit the subscribe button before we are done. And the little bell to the right so you could get your notifications on when we're having our videos, 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Before we start, I got to shout out the first 9. Who was the first 9 on deck? Who was the first 9 on deck? That's who gets the shout outs. Shout out to Sonia Sunshine. That's 2 days in a row. Hey, Sonia Sunshine. Peace Queen, Grand Rising. 2 days in a row she's #1 on. Kinks and Personality, I see you. I see you with your 9 up. Willie Walker, peace, peace. Black Power, you made the cut twice as well. I see you. I see you, Queen. Peace, Grand Rising. Kendra Clark, peace, Queen. Thank you for your 9s. Thank you for the energy. Tamla Thomas, dua, 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 dua to you as well. Body Baba Zill, peace, Queen. Grand Rising. And all that. Dwayne Montauk, preach, brother. We got some brothers on the line too. All right. Brothers made the cut for the first 9. We need that energy. Thank you for those 9s. Primrose Campbell, peace and light. I appreciate the love. Thank you for being on and being on time and being one of the first 9, the first Nasut to arrive on the scene to give me that energy. We need that. So, all right, let's go. We talking about black magic. Huh? We talking about black magic. And you know, you're dealing with the lighthouse. We got to give you the truth. We got to give you the truth. So, we got to give you the history. We got to give you the foundation, right, of black magic. We got to give you what all of this is about. Let me get it nice and close, because what we about to do today, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. All right. I was a little bit concerned as to whether y'all was even ready for this lesson. I'm going to be honest with y'all, because when you expose certain things, like I said, certain knowledge, there's a responsibility that comes into play. But we've been playing around with this for a while, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that a little bit later. So, black magic. Black magic. If you're coming from a religious background, there's a lot of spookism involved with black magic. The word alone, magic. You know, some doctrines will tell you stay away from magic altogether. Magic is evil. Okay? Magic. Well, I want to tell you, when you're dealing with magic, and we're going to come back to it, I got to give you the history first before we deal with magic. Okay? We have to figure out how it was created, right? What is magic? And that takes us to a certain set of trinities. We all know about the trinity that they created, that triad of, by now we know Asar, we know Aset, right? Or Ast, and we know Heru. But very few, these are the typical ones that they expose to you, and there's a reason why you only know about these 3. These are the ones that you know about. But there were several of these triads, several of them in Kemet that we created, that African people laid down. These are all, and remember, these are not real human beings. Let me put my disclaimer out there for you religious folks. We're not dealing with real people. We're dealing with scientific principles. Scientific principles. Everything that you see as far as a representation, before you get spooky and start talking about gods and get booted off the feed, because we don't deal with gods in Africa. We didn't deal with gods in ancient Kemet. We dealt with scientific principles. Okay? So we all know about Asar, Ast, and Heru. But very few of us know about Khnum, Menhet, and their child, the third, which would be the Heru of the group, of the triad, Heka. Heka. Okay? We got to talk about Heka. In Medu Neter, you spell Heka as such. You have those swirly, snake-like patterns, which kind of represents the Kundalini energy, right? The H. And then you have the symbol of the Ka, which is the hands raised. Ka. So it's Heka. Okay? And if you look to the right, that last symbol is what we call a determinative. A determinative in Medu Neter is letting you know what the previous systems actually are representing. Because we weren't linear people in Kemet, our symbols can mean multiple things. Okay? But when you put that symbol at the end of the Neter, you know that you are speaking in reference to a deity or a scientific principle. You understand? So, a lot of people who try to say that Medu Neter hasn't been deciphered don't get it, because they try and use a letter system to describe the letters. They don't get it. They don't realize that that last symbol is not a letter. You understand? That last symbol is actually a determinative, and a determinative is letting you know what the previous systems actually mean. So Heka you can see in many different ways. Heka is the key person that we want to delve into here. And you'll see him depicted as such as well. Okay? Sometimes you'll see Heka looking like that, where he'll have a headdress of a lion's tail or the back part of a lion, right? And and two snakes together crossing one another. Those snakes represent like wave patterns. They represent wave patterns of energy, right? If you've ever seen the pharaohs, I don't want to say pharaohs, and if you ever see the Nasut, when they're laid to rest with their hands like this, and some of them have a rod and a staff in their hands. That's called the Heka and the Henkaka. The Heka and the Henkaka. One represents teaching, and the other represents discipline. The balance of the two give you an energy. When you have the divine teaching and you have the discipline together, this is how you become a divine being. And this is what we try to teach here in the Lighthouse, not to just have knowledge, right, but to also have discipline in the knowledge. Do you understand? There's levels to this. So, Khnum, which is Heka's father, okay, Khnum is responsible for creating man. Okay, and this is how Khnum is spelled. Okay, or Kenamu. Sometimes they say Kenamu. That's what that little bird, and the bird is the oo sound. So you have the Khnum first, which is that jar, which I think we get the word can from, but Khnum is Knumu. Okay, and then you have the symbol of the Netcher of Khnum next to him, the determinative. Okay, so Khnum you'll often see with Menhet, which is his consort. This is Menhet, right? And if you know Khnum and Menhet, they were the ones that were responsible for creating human beings. The two energies that were responsible for creating human beings. Khnum is a Nile Valley deity, okay? Is when you're dealing with the Nile River, that's where you're going to find Khnum. He's a symbol of the ram. The rams were all over the place, okay? And then Menhet, his consort or wife, was the energy that we would associate with also with Sekhmet when you're dealing with the goddess of war, or the deity of war, I should say. It's also an energy of sacrifice, okay? Of sacrifice. And Menhet is spelled in Medu Neter as such, okay? You have the Min, which is the, it looks like the game of Senut, of Senate, rather. That Senate game, that's that top left part right there. Those wavy lines of water, that's the in. So you have Min, okay? And then Het, the two eyes in the middle, okay? The Het, that's that symbol down on the bottom, the H, okay? Is at the bottom, that little stick sticking out. And then you have the two Ah, that's the Menhet, right? And then the T is that dome piece. And then you have the determinative at the end. That T is that dome. It looks like a loaf of bread, okay? And that letter M, the Min, rather, that is Senate in the beginning. I'll show you Senate. Senate is the game that they use to help them. They would play this game, and it has these pieces like this. That's what you're seeing. That's the symbol that you're seeing there. Okay, the little pieces of this game. This game taught them how to do the journey into the afterlife. They made a game out of it so that when it was their time to go into the afterlife, they would be able to do that because they had played the game so much, and it taught them how they would play this game. It taught them how to journey into the afterlife. It was called Senet. So that's what that symbol is on the top that you see there. Okay, in her name. So now, moving on. Khnum, as you see here, him and his consort, it was a masculine and feminine energy, created man both at the same time. At the same time, man and woman, male and female, right? Now, don't get that confused with their son, Heka, right? Heka was a son. He was not a creation. He was a son, okay? He was an energy that comes with them that creates the triad. Man and woman was supposedly created by Khnum, right? And many people will say that we were formed from clay because it was done on a potter's wheel. But that is a metaphoric principle. It was not to be taken literally. It was not to be taken literally. And this is where people say, where they get, we were formed from the dirt, right? In your biblical text, when they talk about the potter's wheel, when they talk about in the book of Isaiah, I believe it was. See if I can find that, because I'm sure I got that in here somewhere. That was in the book of Isaiah, where it says, "Ye are the potter," right? And I am the potter, you are the clay. That's where they get that from. They stole that from your ancestors and credited it to their God, and said that you were made from the dirt, right? But in reality, you weren't made from the dirt. You weren't made from the dirt. You were made from the stars. You were made from the sun. We are crystallized particles, condensed particles of the stars. We are star children, sun children. You understand? We are star dust. Star dust. Not from the earth. Okay? When we transform, we go to the earth. You understand? We did not come from there. So let's be clear. We're dealing with science here. So now, we're going to get into that. How do you create a star? How do you create a star? There's a process, and you've heard me say this process before. Or how do you create light? It's called sonoluminescence. Sonoluminescence. Okay? Sonoluminescence uses sound to create light. Two different sound waves to create light. Coincidentally, Heka is called, or his name means the movement of spirit, or the embodiment of the spirit. It means to use the spirit in a certain way. What is spirit? What is spirit? What if we define spirit? Religious folks would say the spirit is who you actually are. You're a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in a body, but that is incorrect. You are not a spirit. Spirit is what you use. You are not it. Spirit is what you use. Spirit is breath, air, wind. Nothing more. Breath, air, wind. How do we know this? We have to use etymology. We have to get the words in the proper context. Okay? So let's deal with that. Spirit. Spirit. If you look at the word spirit and you had to define it, it would be as such. There are several different synonymous words that go along with the word spirit. The one we want to focus on is the original one that the word was taken from. The biblical text was written in Greek. So let's look at the Greek word. The Greek word in all of these synonymous words that you see here is the word pneuma. Pneuma. You see that? Pneuma, right? It's the root word of pneumonia. Pneuma. And when we look up pneuma to define what pneuma is and see how it is used, it is a Greek word in origin. So this is the word we're looking for. It's the original word in the text. We have to decode it. And when you look at the origin, it says Greek. Take a closer look. Pneuma. It's Greek. And what is it? It is that which is breathed or blown. What do we breathe? What do we blow? We blow oxygen. We blow carbon monoxide. We breathe oxygen. We blow carbon monoxide. We breathe oxygen. Breath, air, wind. That is the true definition of spirit. You are not a spirit. You use spirit to exist. There are all different types of spirits that you can breathe. All different types. You are a soul first. You use spirit. You are given spirit to be able to operate here on the earth plane. You understand? Spirit is given to you secondary. The soul comes first. The light is first. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. When we tell you you are infinite light beings, we mean just that. You are light. So now, let's delve into this. If you don't know how something is done, if you don't know how a specific procedure is done, anybody can usurp spookism in there and tell you it's just magic. It's magic. And this is what they try to sell you in these religious institutions, that they dealt with magic. Anytime you're dealing with black people, when we create something, it's magic now. We dealing with ghosts, ghouls, goblins. Huh? We dealing with devils and demons because they don't know how to do it. This is the fight that I have to have every day with people who claim that they scholars and do research. Because they don't know the science behind the principles, they label it as spookism or black magic, right? Voodoo. Voodoo was the common man who didn't know the science. I'm going to be real with y'all. When people say they doing voodoo practices, vaudon, those were the people that weren't the scholars. Those are the ones that didn't know the science. So they were just playing around with stuff. They didn't have the laws. You understand? I would deal with Hebrews and people dealing with the Hebrew Israelites before I dealt with people dealing with the vaudon and voodoo. And I'm going to tell you why. The word Hebrew is actually a word for scholars. Okay? It's actually a word for scholars. It's the plural word that we use in Kemet. Heb was a scholar. That's what the word Heb was. Hebrew, remember I told you means plural. Okay, I gave y'all the book, Let the Ancestors Speak. You can look in there. Anytime you use the word that's a plural. So Hebrew is scholars. Okay? So essentially this is why you need to understand these things, because now you can see why the Hebrew Israelites were saying, yeah, the Hebrews, we was in Israel, and we was in Egypt, and we was under bondage, There were scholars that were there, that were working inside the Pa'ah, what they call the Pharaoh now, Pera'ah. They were working in there. You understand? And some of them were there forcefully, putting knowledge together, because Kemet was the epicenter. Okay? So this is how you can bring people together to help them understand who they truly are. So now, let's get back to sonoluminescence. Sonoluminescence. Thank you for that donation, Anthony. I appreciate it. Sonoluminescence. Okay? It's okay if you leave that up there, Latifah. That's fine. If you see here, sonoluminescence is used by two waves of energy that come together, and that creates light. Okay? Here you have two tubes. You have energy waves, sound waves, coming through a tube on the left, sound waves coming through a tube on the right. And when they combine in water, it makes light. Light is created by water. What you don't realize is that we're just fish right now. We're all fish. We are in water. Oxygen, that is our water that we breathe. We don't know the difference because that's what we use to breathe. But if I put you in a more dense area of water with too much hydrogen, right? A more dense area, then you won't be able to breathe because it's more dense, it's more compact, right? So we are in a stage right now, we're just passing through, we're in a stage where we will become more condensed due to the waves, the sound waves is condensing us. You understand? We grow to a certain extent and then the sound waves compresses back, right? And that ultimately ends us going into our transformation. And when we go to our transformation, we end up going back into Nun, into the waters of Nun. In the beginning, remember it says that God separated the waters, okay? So we're essentially in water right now, but we don't know the difference. We call it something else. We call it air. But it's all water. As you can see here in the cosmos, in the Kemetic cosmos, cosmology, you can see there's water above the stars, right? The stars are a compressed crystallized light. That's what they are. It's sonoluminescence. So when you are looking at a star, you are essentially looking at compressed crystallized light. Compressed crystallized light. That is how you create a star. It's not magic. It's not a god. It's science. And you can do this experiment on your own if you wanted to. Here is the schematics of how you create sonoluminescence right here. You use 2 waves of energy inside of water, and it will create the blue light like you see when we look at the stars. Is that not a star in the middle? As above, so below. If you see something going on in the cosmos, you should be able to create it on the earth plane and duplicate it. If not, it's not real. You understand? If not, it's not law. Anything that you see, we can create stars, we can create suns, everything that you see up there. They're telling you that these are solid objects. The moon, all this crazy stuff, like you can land on it. It's light. It's light that has been crystallized. That's it. It's compressed. Boom, light. And you can duplicate that right now through the process of sonoluminescence. And they were trying to tell you how to create these things. Check this out. Check this out. Many people say, oh yeah, they had bulbs. The Egyptians had bulbs. The people of Kemet had bulbs. Bruh. These are not real people. They are telling you how to create a star. They are showing you how to use sonoluminescence to create a star. They're using Heka. Heka is a word that they use nowadays called magic. And Heka is just using spirit or wind energy, a sound wave, to create light. Do you understand? See, you see this picture all the time, but they don't show you this one with Menhet. Menhet, which also means the north wind. The north wind. They're showing you the winds that create stars. So here you have one source of wind, which is Menhet. And then you have Heka, which is her son, essentially, right? And they're creating the stars. Look at the Jed pillar. What's on top of the Jed pillar? You see the Ka. The Ka. You see the Ka on the Jed pillar? The hands up, the hands raised. That's the same thing that you see on the head of Heka. Spirit, wind. They are telling you how to create a star using wind. You see that? The same way we have the tube. You see that tube? Shooting up into the sky. And then you got another tube right here. You see that? This is how you create a star. We did that. We did that. But y'all don't forgot the damn knowledge, and they giving you spookism to make you believe that some just miscellaneous God is floating around and just boop, 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 and he ain't done no work since. You did the work. Your ancestors did the work. We put those stars up there. We put that sun up there. You say, what about the planets, Jamaar? What about the planets? You see, Mars is red. You know what the red color is? That's carbon. When you have too much carbon in it, when it crystallizes, it turns red. It's a carbon star. Oh, y'all gonna get this work today. Y'all gonna get this work today. Huh? You know how when you gotta chastise the kids and you gotta spank them, you gonna, didn't I tell you not? That's what y'all gonna get today. For the non-believers, you're gonna get this work. A carbon star. A carbon star. When you compress it and you don't separate enough hydrogen, that's how you get the carbon star. A carbon star is typically an asymptotic giant branch star, a luminous red giant whose atmosphere contains more carbon than oxygen. The two elements combine in the upper layers of the star, forming carbon monoxide, which consumes all the oxygen in the atmosphere, leaving carbon atoms free to form other carbon compounds, giving the star a sooty atmosphere and strikingly ruby red appearance. There are also some dwarf and supergiant carbon stars, with the more common giant stars sometimes being called classical carbon stars to distinguish them. But they told you it's a damn planet. And we about to fly over there. We about to fly to Mars. I can't, yo. This is why I can't really I can't have conversations with these dudes, man. With these scholars, man. Because they don't deal with science. They don't deal with real science. They don't do it on their own. They fronting. They fronting. What experiments have they done on their own? I'm not done. Welcome to the lighthouse, though. Welcome to the lighthouse. We ain't done. We just warming up. I just showed you how to create a star. Right? But check this out. There's more to this. That sound wave, when you use it, it has to be used in a certain way. The sound that you're putting out, if you notice, when you see the tube, there's a reason why it's in a tube, because it has to be that circular motion, the same way our ancestors taught us. That sound wave has to be in a circular motion. It has to be circle. They thought I just liked bells. That's what they thought. They thought I just liked playing with bells. Huh? This is how you do a chain reaction. This is how you change DNA. This is how you change things, how you make things happen. Heka. Heka. We're creating Heka. Moving the spirit, moving the wind, right? To create light, enlightenment. Heka. Right? So now, one of the things that you'll probably notice, when I do that, right? And it goes in that circle, listen to the sound. If you notice, it's not linear. It's not linear. It's wong, 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 wong. Listen. Right? You feel that? You feel that? All right. All right. The reason why you feel that is because it's bipolar. You have two sounds. One from the left, one from the right, because we're going in a circular motion. So the sound needs to escape. It doesn't know where to go, so it's bouncing and it's revolving. Woo, 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 woo. Right? Remember I told you we got tones coming from the atmosphere in the tone of B flat, right? So if you got a B flat coming from over here, and you got another version of the B flat or the harmonic coming from over here, it's gonna go woo, 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 woo. This is why the best singers, when they sing, they go, ah, you hear the vibrato, ah, right? Ah, they got that vibrato, right? You know why? Because the vibrato is what actually changes things. This is why they're getting rid of the real singers and they're making them linear. So they sound like robots. It says, ah, ah. They're getting rid of the vibrato. Because the vibrato is what changes your DNA. You see? You see? This is also the reason why they got rid of record players. That spinning sound. Right? You can't have that 360. Oh no, that's dangerous, baby. On a carbon record? Spinning? Oh no, we can't do that. we can't do that. Let's tell them we upgraded. Let's tell them we got better technology and give them CDs. Let's go digital. Huh? Those carbon records was changing your DNA, baby. We can't have that. Get that out of here. Let's upgrade. Get rid of them. You see? It's carbon. It's the same stuff you find in the atmosphere. This is why the records speak to your soul. When you play a record, it has that warmth. You can feel the difference. Anybody that's ever came up in that era, they know the difference between a record, right? And just a song that's digital, that's digitized. It's like thin. It's linear. It's missing something. You see? Let me show you how to duplicate that. We ain't been to the board in a while. So I'm going to show you. See, I do my own experiments. I don't play around. Y'all already know that though. No ego. I'm going to give you a tone. This is a tone of 432 hertz. A linear tone of 432 hertz. Thank y'all for the donations. I appreciate it. This is a linear tone of 432 hertz. Here we go. You hear that? Linear. That's just one. Very annoying. You hear that? That's very annoying. That's linear. Right? Linear. That's 432 hertz. Okay? Now I'm going to show you something. What if I took 432 hertz and I used the power of the number 9, the power of the number 6, the power of the number 3, and gave you a 432 hertz and a 435 hertz. An octave, triple, 3 numbers. We're going to go up 3. 432 and 435. What do you think that sound would sound like? Here's 432. Let's play 435 hertz at the same damn time. Huh? You want this divine knowledge? Huh? You want to recreate the sun, the moon, the stars? Or you want to play around, argue with these fools? What you want to do? You're going to get this work. Sonoluminescence. Sonoluminescence. The process of creating light in water. The body is made of 72% water. This is why these sounds feel so good to you. This is why these sounds give you goosebumps. Because we're changing the DNA. We're creating light within ourselves. We're becoming light beings. We are crystallizing the water within us. We're creating sonoluminescence within the body. And this is what your ancestors were trying to teach you on the walls of Kemet. They were trying to give you science, not magic. It's only magic because you don't know what the laws are. If you already know what the magic trick is, it's not magic no more. Now it becomes engineering. It becomes science. It's a method. When I look at the stars, I'm not spooked out. I know what's going on. I know there are sound waves coming from the universe in a tone of B flat. The question is, who's the one doing that? Who did that? You see, there was some outside work going on that put us in here. Every star that I'm looking at an explosion of sonoluminescence sitting in water. That's what I'm looking at. You ain't gonna see nobody fly and land on no damn star. You telling me all the stars is way out there and ain't none of them close by that we could go and land on? All these planets is millions and millions of miles away? Man, stop lying. Stop lying. Anybody that's smart enough and that's intelligent enough to do the work and study their ancestors is going to know the truth. This is why they scared. This is why they block us on feeds. They don't want you getting that work, man. I promise you that. Because we do the real experiments. Sound is everything. Your body is put together from sound. Compressed sound. That's what we are. We are the components of sound waves inside of water. That's what we are. Crystallized. That's what we are. We were not made from the dirt. We were not made from clay. That was a metaphor. We were made from stardust. Star particles. You have the crystallized particles, and then you have the remnants of those that were not fully crystallized, that are like plasma type. That's what we are. Take a look. As you see on the left, you have some that are crystallized and some that are not. On the right, you have the ones that are fully crystallized, and that's what you see in the cosmos. That's what you're seeing when you're looking at stars. Do you understand? Do you understand, family? Your ancestors was telling you how it was done. If you look on the left, on the top with the boat, the celestial boat, riding on the water, you'll see some that is less crystallized. Then it crystallized. That's when you see the stars. And then the waters were separated. And that's what you see when you see Shu in the middle. You have Nut and Geb. You see that? Nut, Geb, Shu. Shu is what separated the waters, or the wind is what separated the waters. Oxygen. You understand? That's what separated us from the other crystals, from the other stars. We are the stars. When stars look at us, they're seeing the same thing. They're seeing the same thing when stars look at us. We're not going up. We're going over there. We're going over there. When they look at us, they see the same thing. Infinite light beings. This is why when you become famous and you become influential, what do they call you? A star. He's a real star. You know, there's something about him because everybody's drawn to him. He's a star. You could have used any other word. Any other word. Why do we use, he's a star? Those who don't know what's going on ain't gonna never become no damn star. He's a star. She's a star. Because they're so, everybody else is just lost. That's what they want you. They want you to be a star. Because that's what you actually are. The ones that are the most lost, they tell them that they are stars because that's what they want you to be. These guys who ain't got no sense. That's what they want you to be. The ones like us, we don't become famous for the most part. We don't. They do the best they can not to let us be famous. There's a reason for that. They block us. Because if we give that knowledge to influential people, oh my God. Could you imagine? I need you to understand how lucky you are and how divine you are right now to be here and be able to hear this lesson. How empowered you are right now. Use this information. What do I always tell you? You can't unsee what you just saw. You can't unhear what you just heard. Take this information and know who you are. Apply it in your everyday life. When you know who you are, you're going to eat differently. You're going to talk differently. You're only going to be around certain people. You understand? Because you realize how precious you are as a star, as a child of the sun. That's all I got for y'all, man. How do you go and work for somebody after this? How do you go to work when you know this? How you sit in a pew and listen to somebody talk crazy when you have this information? With that being said, if you haven't already, like, share, comment. If you haven't already, like, share, comment. Post this on your Facebook feeds. Post this on your YouTube feeds. We got to wake our family up because they don't know who they are. It's our responsibility. If you'd like to donate to the cause, if you send $50 or more, we have power bracelets for everybody as symbols of who we are as infinite light beings. They're made of copper, two-tone copper, and brass. So when I do my rotational pattern, you can help link up as well. They're great conductors of electromagnetivity and energy. So donations of $50 or more, get those. I see a couple of people got their t-shirts in. A couple of people got their t-shirts in. Send me some pictures so we can show the people. Okay? Shout out to everybody that's been sending their pictures in of their power bracelets. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for donating to the cause. I appreciate you for helping us out. Dua, dua, dua. To all my brothers and sisters who hold down the lighthouse and that's been putting that work in. I appreciate y'all for being here. What I want to say is we also got some pretty dynamic people that are in this feed that do great work. I always like to promote the people that sponsor me. Shout out to Color Only on the sweatshirt. I appreciate the sweatshirt. Everybody that's been sending me gifts. We promote black business on this feed. If you don't know, if you are a black business owner and you would like to promote your product and what you do on the Lighthouse, simply send it to me. Just hit me in my inbox in my Facebook. Make sure if you haven't already, if you're just new, go to Facebook and they blocking us on Facebook right now because of the information that we put out. But go to Facebook and click follow so that you can get notifications. Also, make sure you guys click the bell on this feed and click the thumbs up on this feed as well. Share with your friends and family. Shout out to Melody Mitchell who does my tiles of the logo. Beautiful work that she does. You can contact her. She's on the feed as well. You can contact Sister Latifah Forster, who is our moderator. She does Reiki readings. She helps with getting your aura back. She helps with aligning your chakras. Okay, so definitely hit Sister Latifah up for you indigo children. If you're an indigo child and you know you are an indigo child, definitely hit up Sister Latifah so that you can get your aura right. Shout out to Lisa's Fragrance and Such, who sends me all my smell goods, my soaps, my beard oils. She does them in Egyptian musk scent. Her name is Lisa G on here. She does hit her up if you would like to get some of that stuff. I assure you this is like the best stuff that's out there. Natural, great natural products. She does body butters, body scrubs, this stuff called Awesome Sauce, which is absolutely awesome. It smells amazing, and I wear it every day. Shout out to Lisa's Fragrance and such for that. Shout out to Jamario Beard. He's an artist, and he does T-shirts. Okay, he does Black Wall Street T-shirts. I'm gonna tell you what's my favorite about all the stuff that he actually does. This hat that he gave me. He has a clothing line, Black Wall Street. This Scully, the Black Wall Street Scully. You know, because we about black business. So, you know, I love rocking this Black Wall Street Scully. Like, you know, it's winter in New York. It's cold as hell. So this is what I'm in the streets with right now. It got me feeling so good, you know, promoting black people and their business and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I could be doing a whole lot of other things, but being able to be here, you guys could be doing a whole lot of other things. Us being together and, you know, building one another up is a beautiful thing, and it's something that I always dreamed of, you know, and just didn't know how to go about doing it or learning the right knowledge, you know, to be able to share, you know. So being able to do this and have what I've called my own personal Black Wall Street, that's what we have here. We have a Black Wall Street where we trade and commerce with one another, you know what I'm saying? Who else? Mela Miracle. Mela Miracle does body scrubs as well, sugar scrubs, but they also do lotion, natural lotions and sugar scrubs. I always tell people I got sensitive skin, so I need all my stuff to be natural. You know, I'm half Kemite and I'm half Igbo, so my bloodline is straight African. I need all African products on my body, and Mela Miracle has been providing me with some of that. You can contact them as well. Who else? Nagash Footwear. Nagash Footwear. Shout out to them if you want sneakers, Comedic sneakers. Shout out Nagash, brother Unk from the Amin Ra Squad. He has a sneaker line as well. I'll put that link in the feed if you want to order sneakers. And lastly, but not least, Shungite Stones. If you want to get your Shungite water, get the Shungite water popping. As you see, that's what I'm drinking here. Shungite water. It's crystallized water. This water is alkaline. You see the bubbles in there? That's how you know when you got the real thing. That stone that you put in there is what makes it alkaline. You can put any type of water in here, faucet water, whatever it may be. You put the stone in there and you let it sit for a couple of hours, and it will alkaline that water and make it drinkable. This is water that gives you energy. Okay, you don't even have to. You don't have to have breakfast in the morning when you have Shungite water. You get up and you have a glass of Shungite water. And Latifah, she can put the website down there. Please put the website down there, Queen Latifah, for the Shungite water. The Shungite water, the Shungite stones rather. You place the stone in there and you let it sit in, and it'll purify your water. Those crystals, those bubbles give you energy. So you shouldn't be eating breakfast until like 12 noon. So with that being said, may the divine force in me greet the divine force in you. Do-wah, family. I love you. Peace. Ashe.